Everybody, it's Mike. I'm back here. Going to do another show. So I want to thank everybody for joining in. Let's see, we got, hey, how you doing? Good to see you here. So we're going to get right to this show because I want to talk about one of these scammer guru guys and also some updates on what's going on with Trivigram Sex Swami and then other things in the Hare Krishna, the Krishna Cult world. So we're going to go right to it. And first, we're going to start off with the opening. Let's get to that.
Hello?
Hello.
All right. So a lot of stuff I want to talk about. And I know some of you are going to have some questions. I'm going to have some questions. Let's see.
Now! Right now! I want to ask my questions now, and I want to have my answers now. You hear?
Exactly. So let's see what we're going to do here. The first thing I want to talk about is before I get into the Swami scam and the latest the latest guru that I'm going to talk about, the scamming guru. I want to talk about this Hare Krishna. I mean, they want you to think that it's peace and love and happiness and all this chant and be happy and search for liberation and science of self-realization, and it sounds very spiritual and very fulfilling, right? You're gonna have a happy go lucky life if you're chanting Hare Krishna and go to the temple and worship and all this. But the truth of the matter is something completely different. Okay. And I want to just show you because they address it themselves. I mean, look, this is what they have going on. Okay. And this is from their webpage, from the Hare Krishna page. It says, Seva Care Education, the silent killer, isolation, and loneliness. And this is from a Hare Krishna webpage. So this is what you can look forward to. This is what they're telling you can look forward to from years and years and years of chanting Hare Krishna. Just isolation and loneliness is basically what they're saying. So it says, understanding the risks and finding solutions. Well, I thought Hare Krishna was the solution. I thought chanting was the solution. So now they're saying that there's a solution to chanting Hare Krishna. It says isolation can lead to severe mental health issues, heart disease, dementia, anxiety, premature death, and social dysfunction. Social dysfunction. You mean putting on a robe and shaving your head with a ponytail and putting clay on your face and chanting magic words 24 hours a day? Social dysfunction? Isolating yourself from the real world and just reading this weird guru's books full of racism and sexism and just completely disengaging from the real world and living in this imaginary spiritual transcendental realm? Social dysfunction? I mean, give me a break. Okay, so this is join Her Grace Ramboru Dasi. She's giving this isolation, this seminar, or well, let's see what it says. Let's go on with it. Hello, Hare Krishna, it says. After an absence of almost 2 years, SaveACare is starting up the talk series once again. It's called SaveACare Education. We hope to present interesting topics every month. It will be live and an exciting time to learn and engage in discussion with presenters. Our first presenter will be the well-known Ramboru Devi. Check out the flyer and the description below, and see you on Monday, July 14th at 7 p.m. And it says, introducing SaveACare Education. SaveACare is reviving its talk series on educational topics that we hope will help expand our awareness and understanding of various areas concerned with caring for our community. Our goal is to present a topic approximately on the second Tuesday of each month, depending on the availability of presenters. It goes on and it says, join us for episode 8, The Silent Killer, Isolation and Loneliness. Ramboru Brinkman, and then it's got all of these credentials, MA, BCC, ACPE, certified educator. So that makes you think that like she's got some, like she's on the ball. She's a crazed cult member. All this masters or whatever education and be bachelor's certified, ACPE certified education, it means nothing to them. All of that is just to bamboozle the public into thinking that she has some credentials. Well, she does. She went to school and she got those letters. But as far as what she believes, she believes in wacky shit. She believes in some wacky shit. All the shit that I talk about, she believes in it. All those letters behind her name, certified educator. She's no certified educator. She might be certified because she went and she got a certification. But the shit that she believes and the shit she wants to teach children or teach anybody, it doesn't make her certified to be a teacher. She believes in demon heads eating the moon and other wacky shit like that. Women are 9 times lustier than men. Women like to be raped. All the shit that Prabhupada says, they believe it 100%. There's no question. You don't get to be Ramboru Dasi and the head of the Seva committee or the Seva program and not be 100% in with all the wackiness. It just doesn't. You say, well, how do you know that she believes that? She believes all the shit. She's no certified educator. She's just bamboozling everybody. This presentation is sure to reawaken our desire to be Krishna's agents of care in our communities and beyond, okay? She says, Americans face an epidemic of loneliness and social isolation, according to an advisory by United States Surgeon General Dr. Vivek H. Murthy. The health impacts included increased risk of cardiovascular disease, dementia, stroke, depression, anxiety, premature death. Social isolation, meanwhile, leads to societal dysfunctions in our schools, workplaces, and civic organizations where performance, productivity, and engagement are diminished. Okay, it says, we are called to build a movement to mend the social fabric of our nations by Surgeon General Dr. Vivek H. Murthy. So they're trying to use the Surgeon General's call to address loneliness and social isolation because it causes a lot of health problems in Americans. So he's saying that. And the Hare Krishnas are trying to capitalize that and say, what's what it says right here. Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON was established to create a culture of care that would change the world one heart at a time. The Lord cares about his devotee, just as a mother always cares about her little child, who is entirely dependent on her care. So this is their idea, is that ISKCON ISKCON is actually the place where you can go No, let's read on. So the owner of this webpage says, lots of senior devotees are now living alone, struggling, and aloof from ISKCON. Some Alachua folks wanted to raise a $400 a month income for someone to deliver food and medications to these deprived and poor seniors living alone or with not much help in Alachua, some of whom have no vehicle and not much money or support. And this is true all over. Hare Krishnas have nothing, especially when they get older. They have no skills. They have no health insurance. They have no safety net, no social security, no pension, no savings. They have nothing. And then they reach their 60s or 70s. Some of them are in their 80s, and they have no, and then they have issues because they have no income. They have nothing, and they need care. They need assisted living. They need convalescent homes. They need nursing homes. And they have nothing. And many of them are just alone, single, and they're struggling. They're struggling with mental health issues. Because they have nothing. They dedicated their life to this Prabhupada who gave them nothing in return. What do they have in return? What is this Gora Haridas doing for these people except convincing them to listen to this Prabhupada guy who's doing nothing but destroying their lives? Thinking that they don't have there's nothing to do. I spent 20 years in this cult. I could have had a career, or at least attempted a career in television production or movie production or whatever, but I didn't. That's where I was headed when I joined this cult. And after 20 years in this cult, I ended up with nothing. Nothing. No career. Yeah, I did video at ITV for Nrsingananda for a few years, and did a public access television program because I was into television and into broadcasting, into creating and whatever, right? But doing it for the Hare Krishna is nothing. For what? What did I have? What do I have to show for it? That's nothing. These people have nothing. What can they do? They can run around and sell books in a Costco parking lot. The best thing they can hope for is that they become a guru one day and someone's washing their clothes and someone's cooking their lunch and someone's flying them around the world, getting donations, living like a holy man, millionaire, whatever. But most people don't. Most people end up in Alachua or in LA, living in a van, living in a friggin' motorhome like Bhargava. The guy was a photographer. He was taking pictures of Prabhupada. He joined Prabhupada's movement and followed Prabhupada around and took photos or whatever he did, but he ended up doing nothing. Guy lives in a motorhome on Watsika Avenue. If he's still there, that's what he was doing when I met him, and he'd been there forever, and he was still there when I left. Living in a motorhome on Watsika Avenue. Hanging around the Hare Krishna temple. The guy's got to be 75 years old. Guy could have won a Pulitzer Prize. Guy could have won award-winning awards for his photography, for taking pictures of whatever going on. No, instead he's following Prabhupada around, taking pictures of his stupid Hare Krishnas. And now he's living in a friggin' motorhome on Watsika Avenue. And I'm not saying he doesn't have a house in Beverly Hills. Maybe he does. Who knows? But I know that he was living in a motorhome on Watsika Avenue for the 20 years that I was hanging around. So many guys like that. Where are they at? Punyatma. The guy was in the Marines. The guy was in the Marines in Vietnam or wherever he was. He was a totally normal guy. There was nothing wrong with him. He wasn't missing an arm or disabled or anything like that. The guy was hanging around the Hare Krishna temple. The guy didn't want to work, though. He wanted to be a Hare Krishna, but he couldn't be a Hare Krishna, so he was just nothing. He could have been anything he wanted to be. He ended up being Punyatma, living in a crack house that got burned down, and he died in a crack house in a fire in a crack house. Fucking U.S. Marine. Living in a crack house. Why? Because he's following Prabhupada around and reading these fucking books. It's insane. This guy in Alachua he's got some problem. He's an old Prabhupada disciple or whatever. He's been in the movement for. He's got nothing. They're doing a GoFundMe account for him, so he can buy a car, so he can get around, go back and forth to his medical, whatever it is. It's sad, but this is what happened when you're in a cult for fucking 40, 50 years. It's stupid. But they don't tell you that. They don't tell you that when they hand you a book and go, yeah, just chant and be happy. You don't have to do anything. You can just chant and be happy and read this book. They don't tell you that if you follow what it says and you do what it says, eventually you're going to be a big piece of shit, fucked up in the head, no fucking anything, living in a van or an RV, hanging around a Hare Krishna temple. Like me, 20 years went by like that. Nothing. And I was like, fuck these people. And I turn around. I'm not 30 anymore. I'm 50 now. I'm staring retirement right in the face. Lucky for me, I had a job. I had Social Security. I got a pension coming one day. It's very small, but I got something. Hare Krishna's got nothing. They don't even have transportation back and forth to the free clinic so they can get their whatever they need. He says, I also know some older devotees living there that they report the support system from the devotee community is little to none. No one seems to notice, but a few elite, especially anointed guru devotees get millionaire lifestyles from ISKCON, while most others get tossed overboard and into the gutter. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying the same thing this guy's saying, although I'm saying get the fuck out of this cult. He's like, so what? Yeah, it's a piece of shit and all this shit's going on, but hey, it's Prabhupada's movement and devotional service. Because he's too stupid to see. Every day he reports on crap. Up to here in crap. It's like the crap is up to his fucking nostrils. And he's like, everything's okay, everybody. Everything's okay. Here's another one. Ordinary member just writes in and says, a lot of these ISKCON leader men, they don't want to give their name because they're afraid something's going to happen to them, right? This says M. Dasi, so it's a woman. It says, a lot of these ISKCON leader men seems to me get caught in attraction for women. They are more advanced than other leader men who are attracted to men and boys. What? Then she says, yuck. As a woman myself, hard for me to understand what is so attracting about women. We have the same stinky bag of bones as a man. So there's the brainwashing. Prabhupada has brainwashed this woman into believing that she's a piece of shit woman and that men shouldn't even be attracted to women because they're nothing but a stinky bag of bones. So that's what she looks at men as, just no love, no humanity, or we're just a stinky bag of bones. Why would a man be attracted to a woman, and why would a woman be attracted to a man? I just don't get it. Well, your father was obviously attracted to your mother. And they came together in some kind of in a moment of something, and the woman got impregnated, and you were conceived. So thank God that your stinky bag of bones father thought that your stinky bag of bones mother was attractive, and they came together in some sort of loving exchange, and then you happened, you stinky bag of bones. This is the brainwashing. And then she goes on, a devotee is supposed to see everybody else as a temple of Vishnu, includes the ant, dog, cat, snake, man, woman, and every other body. This is the basic idea of Krishna's devotional service from day one. Everyone is part of Krishna and is property of Krishna. It is certainly not our position to grab one of these Vishnu's temple's bodies and claim it as our property and then exploit that body, which is supposed to be a temple of Vishnu. So this person is obviously brainwashed, and Prabhupada has brainwashed her into believing that there's no such thing as love. That a man and a woman just can't fall in love. That it's someone's love is not love. It's wanting to take a person and own their body and then use it for sense enjoyment and exploit that body. That's what that's what her conception of love is. And where does she get that conception of love? From Prabhupada. And so she thinks that her father just took possession of her mother and then just claimed it as his, used her body as property, impregnated her, gave birth to this woman, and that's how she was born. That's how she was born in this world, because her father was just this demon guy. He wasn't a devotee. He was just, and he just took possession of her mother, this woman, and then he just basically raped her because he took possession of her body that wasn't his, and then he used it and exploited it and impregnated it, and then she was born. That's how she describes her birth, according to Prabhupada. According to Prabhupada, that's what it is, because everybody's a part of Krishna. Everybody's body is a temple of Vishnu. So obviously her father took her mother's temple of Vishnu for his own, stole it, exploited it. You understand what I'm saying? How is that not a dangerous mental? And this is what she wants. She wants everyone to think the way she does, because she's out spreading these books and preaching. Everyone needs to think the way she does. She says this is the basic idea of Krishna's devotional service from day one. Everyone is part of Krishna and is property of Krishna. And it is certainly not our position to grab one of these Vishnu temples' bodies and claim it as our property. She says, this is a very low-class understanding. This is a very low-class understanding that the other bodies are meant as my personal enjoyment and property. Especially, we should not be attracted to an opposite-sex devotee's body, since the devotee's body is directly the property of Krishna. Is this insanity or what? So then she says, these lusty old men, GBC gurus, should hire regular prostitutes and not disturb the lives of innocent devotee ladies. Why do they always wreck the lives of innocent devotees? Simply cause trouble for devotees. So she's being honest there, where she says, hey, these gurus, these fake bogus gurus, harm their female disciples, they harm their male disciples, and they wreck the lives of innocent devotees. So she's being honest there. I mean, you go down the list and you go starting with Kirtanananda, Bhavananda, all the way up to today with Lokanath Swami and Trivikram Swami and Naranjan Swami, all just don't give a shit about their disciples. It's like Trivikram was like, yeah, I got all these disciples, but I want to bang my disciple, and I know I'm breaking my vows, but you know what? I don't care, and my disciples are going to be confused and upset and maybe reject me, but I don't care about that either because I really want to I just want to bang my disciple so bad. And all this Hare Krishna stuff is not helping me. It's not stopping me. It's not diminishing this desire because I'm 83 years old and I've been practicing Hare Krishna for 60 friggin' years and I still want to bang my disciple. And I'm going to do it. And I don't care. So now he's got disciples that are like, they don't know what to do. They don't know whether to reject him. They don't know whether to follow him. They don't know where to go, what to do. He doesn't give a shit. He's off doing whatever he wants. He doesn't care. Fuck you. Fuck you that you were giving me money. Fuck you that you were sending me gifts and flying me around the world and washing my underwear and drinking my bathwater and doing all these things. Fuck it. I don't care. You fell for it. Joke's on you. Who told you to follow me? You came to me. You came to me and said, hey, I want you to be my guru. Will you accept me? So what was I supposed to do? That's on you. I didn't come telling you to come be my disciple. You came to me. Tough titty. But these people aren't smart enough to see this shit. They're not smart enough to put all these dots together. If you put all these dots together, even if your guru doesn't fall down, you still end up fucking in Alachua with a GoFundMe account asking for $400 so you can buy a used car so you can get back and forth to the free clinic because you got no health insurance. Even if your guru doesn't fall down, what do you got? So what? He's off in India living the good life, and you're in Alachua with a GoFundMe account. No Social Security, no pension, no nothing. This cult doesn't give a fuck about you. Just the same way Prabhupada didn't give a fuck about the children, this cult doesn't give a fuck about you. Who cares? You think somebody cares? You think somebody in this cult cares? They don't care about the guy in Alachua and needs $400 for his fucking used car so he can go back. Nobody. I didn't see not one guru go, hey, you know what? I got a bank account. I'll give you a fucking $1,000. No. I didn't see any temple in India go, hey, come, you can live with us for free. Bangalore? What did Madhu Pandit do? Madhu Pandit do anything? What about this guy that runs this webpage? What did he do? The fuck did he do? Oh, I published the story. Hey, I put the link to your GoFundMe account. I did that. I put the link to your GoFundMe account. Don't expect me to do anything else. These people don't give a shit. They don't give one fuck. And then she finishes up here and she says, one thing we always see happening with these gurus, other people's lives are ruined. Yes. Let's start a FundMe and gather funds to hire professional prostitutes for these dirty old men gurus to enjoy separately and save the lives of the devotee ladies. She really thinks that the devotee ladies, you want to save women, get them out, get them the fuck out of this movement. Just get them the fuck out. Let's see. Let's see. So that's on this webpage, what's going on with him. Now, as far as Trivikram Swami, so they're talking a lot about, there's a lot of repeating of what I've been saying, and that is that the GBC is really, they don't, that these, who is making these guys gurus? And who is the GBC to say that this guy's a guru and you should follow him? Like this is like negligence, spiritual negligence. You can't. It's like going to a therapist, and the therapist says, "You know what? You should maybe go delete yourself." You know, therapist can't do that. And the therapist says, "You know what? Maybe you should just go, take a bunch of drugs and get a hooker and go to the hotel. Maybe that's what you need." No, therapists can't do that. This GBC is like, oh, you need to take advice from one of these gurus. You mean the guru that's running drugs and prostitution ring up in Berkeley? Oh, you mean the guru that's molesting little boys in India? Oh, you mean the guru that's touching young ladies, young girls in Massachusetts? Oh, you mean the kid that was the guru that was beating up kids in Vrindavan? Oh, you mean the guru that... Which guru do you mean? You mean the 83-year-old guy that fell down with his 35-year-old disciple? That guru? Or the one that was molesting little boys? Oh, you want me to take the guru that ran off with the underage girl in LA? Or are you talking about the guru that ran off with his sex therapist in Switzerland? Are you talking about the guru that was molesting little boys and girls in Australia, or the one that was molesting little girls in South America? Which guru is it that I'm supposed to be following? Because all these, I don't know. How can you sit there and say, well, we're the governing board commission and we make the rules and we make the decisions and we're in charge of your spiritual life and your spiritual journey and whatever, Krishna consciousness and this movement, and you're recommending all these gurus getting their heads chopped off, gurus with machine guns, gurus, alcoholics, gurus with little girls, bikinis. You name it, you got a guru for it. If I can't say, hey, you know what? Can you find me a guru that rides a motorcycle and, smokes meth and has like 3 or 4 girlfriends that we don't know about. Can you find me that guy? Oh, yeah. Hold on. We'll find that guy for you. I'm sure we got one. Oh, yeah, we got one. Rides a motorcycle, smokes meth, has a bunch of girlfriends. Yeah, we got him. We got him. That's what this place is. You got to be fucking nuts to join ISKCON or any of these Krishna cults. And it doesn't matter which guru. I don't care which friggin' guru. Look at this guy. Look at this. Well, first of all, I got to show you Knitting Cult Lady because she's right on the. She's like my favorite. I really love this lady, but she's right on the nose, of course, with this one. And this is something that I've been saying for a while. And this is really short, so it's just short and to the point. And let's watch this together here. Let's see. Oh,
tactic, blaming the individual for systemic.
let me get the sound right on this. Sorry about that. Let's try this again.
This is a very common cult tactic, blaming the individual for systemic problems or telling individuals that things outside of their control are actually in their control and their job to handle. Cults do this a lot. It helps them keep you under control. I'm Daniela, scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership. I wrote a book called Uncultured about growing up in the Children of God religious cult and then going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies here or listen to me read it to you on Spotify Premium. This comment says, "Hi, thank you. I have a friend that did Landmark," which are called large group awareness trainings, right? Landmark, EST, anything that ends in Oni Robbins. He called a woman friend he made at Landmark Forum on speaker to try to convince me how great it was. Landmark Forum ideology had her convinced she needed to somehow be accountable to, and it goes on to say, her own sexual assault and why it happened. AA is a huge offender of this, as are almost every single cult. I talk about this extensively in Uncultured, the sex cult that used religious prostitution for women and promoted sex with children for God, and how they used to use this tactic. It's a cult tactic. You are not that important. No matter what seminar you go to, you're not in charge of everything that happens to you. It's not the way the world works. Part of how they break you is by making you feel simultaneously important and in charge of everything and not important at all, not an individual at all. Doing this, blaming individuals for systemic problems, is part of how they dehumanize you and break you. In Nexium, they even called their program the tech, so that it was subconsciously telling you that if you can't work it, you're the one wrong, not the program. It's not that AA doesn't work because it's trash garbage written in the 1930s by an evangelical man who lied about everything, died begging for a drink, and hasn't been changed for 100 years. No, that's not why it doesn't work. It works because it works if you work it. Stop. Don't fall for this anymore. This is a...
So that's exactly what I've been saying. They're gonna blame you for falling into Maya. Not that it doesn't work and that it's fake and phony and that even an 83-year-old man who's been doing it for 63 years is going to fall into Maya. Maya's very strong. Maya's very strong. Now let me get back to this guy, this nut. What character flaw do I have that I would bow down to a statue, a plant, or a human being? What character flaw do I have that I would bow down? I don't know. I don't know what that character flaw is. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychotherapist. I'm not, I can't diagnose your mental illness that makes you want to bow down to a statue, a plant, or a human being. And basically, I don't know that is an individual character flaw. The character flaw is falling into the guru, disciple, or the master and servant mentality, that this guy knows more than me, and he's going to teach me that I should worship this statue and bow down to it, or I should worship this plant and sing prayers to it and sing Tulsi prayers to this plant, or I should bow down when I see another person and recite the Vaishnav prayer to Vaishnavas. I can't tell you what your personal character flaw is that got you into the cult, but the cult is what is brainwashing you into thinking that these things are important and that this is how you should live your life. That's the cult doing that. I don't know what your individual character flaw is. We got this, let's see. Prabhu, you request to share the link of that cult video you just shared. Oh, Knitting Cult Lady? Knitting Cult Lady it will be shared, and she's, let me see if I can get you that link right now, okay? Hold on. So yeah, so she's really good. She talks about a lot of good things. But what gets me, and when I show you this next video, I want you to keep in mind what she just said. Keep in mind what she just said while you see this next video. Let's see, where is it here? I'm sorry. Is it this one? Let me see. Here we go.
Unshockable. We've seen so many things. But Maya proved us wrong again. Not only myself, but the whole Vaishnav community was shocked by the recent news of a very senior sannyasi who had been in the sannyas ashram over 50 years without any bad record, who was over 80 years old, succumbing to a sexual fall down, the details of which we don't know. It will probably come out sooner or later. I'm not particularly eager to know myself. But actually, we shouldn't be shocked in one sense, because Maya never sleeps. We're in the world of Maya. She never stops trying to get us. But we should learn. When will we learn? Are we doomed to such sad scenarios, one after another, without cessation? Unfortunately, as the saying goes, the only thing we learn from history is that we never learn from history. But we should learn. Relevant here is Srila Prabhupada's purport to Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, Text 4.
Oh, here we go.
Unless one's desires are completely transferred to the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the desire for family life continues, even after one has taken sannyas. Sometimes, in our society, ISKCON, a person out of sentiment may take sannyas. But because his desires are not burned completely, he again takes to family life, even at the risk of losing his prestige and disgracing his good name. These strong desires can be burned out completely when one fully engages in the service of the Lord in devotional service. I'm not saying this to criticize.
Okay, so I'm a little confused by what he just stated there. So what he said that even if one is in devotional service and he's in the sannyas ashram and he's doing all of these things, he may, through sentiment, may still have some sentiment for family life or whatever, and may cause a fall down. That's what he's just said. Then he goes on to say that the remedy for that is to be fully engaged in transcendental knowledge. That's what he just said. He just
in the service of the Lord, he again takes to family life, even at the
okay. Here you
but because his desires are not burned completely, he again takes to family life, even at the risk of losing his prestige and disgracing his good name. These strong desires can be burned out completely when one fully engages in the service of the Lord in devotional service. I'm not saying...
So, right. So he's saying both things at the same time, which is called double talk or speaking out of both sides of your mouth. He's saying that even if one is a guru or in the renounced order, he's a sannyasi and he's been doing his devotional service for X number of years and he's fully fixed up, he may still have some sentiment for family life, and therefore may have, what he's saying is sentiment for family. He may still have some sex desire, okay? But what he's saying is, a man is a man, and no matter when in life, no matter what he's doing, he may want to have sex. Basically what it is. Trivikram wasn't thinking, I want to get married and have a family. He's 83 years old. He just wanted to have sex with this attractive woman that was willing to have sex with him. So what he's saying is that even if you're engaged in devotional service for X amount of years, fixed up, you may still have sex desire. And the only way to avoid that, the way to just burn up that sex desire, is to be fully engaged in Krishna consciousness. So what he's saying is, he's not saying anything. Talking in a circle is what he's saying. He's fooling you. He ain't fooling me. And if anyone can fall, this is what I said a long time ago. If anyone can fall down at any time, even after 65 years of Hare Krishna, why do it? Why spend 60 years doing something and then failing at it, and then you start over again? Just to fail again. And if you're propping up guys that have been molesting children, and you're supporting them, then you've fallen down too. You're not a holy man. You can't be a holy man on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and a piece of shit Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday. You can't sit there and be the holy man. He's saying follower can fall down, but the only remedy is following. Yeah, am I not hearing that right? That's what he's saying, right? I mean, I played it twice, and I already knew that because Naranjan said, I'm stressing out. I got to take a break from Hare Krishna because I'm stressing out from doing Hare Krishna. So now I'm going to go take a break and I'm going to focus on doing Hare. It's the same thing Lord Chaitanya said. Lord Chaitanya said, I can't handle you guys coming here and bugging me about this guy not paying his bill. You've come to me 4 times about this guy not paying his bill. I'm going to head off to Alalanath and I'm just going to mellow out there to get away from you guys. He couldn't handle being, what? He couldn't handle his disciples coming to him and asking him questions?
No! Right now! I want to ask my questions now, and I want to have my answers now. You hear?
But these guys. Guys are full of shit, these guys. And they want you to believe it. What makes this guy a fucking holy man? What the fuck is this guy?
This to criticize that
You are
devotee
criticizing.
or anyone else who's undergone.
It's the whole program that's under criticism. You're sitting there talking about how you're just like him. He was just like you. You guys are the same. He fell down first. And you prop these guys up. You don't know. You don't know that these guys, whether these guys are pure devotees or not. You're just fucking playing a game. You're cosplaying. Every one of you is cosplaying. And you're just trying to see who can cosplay the longest without getting caught.
Various setbacks. Rather, we should remember the lifetime service record of this Vaishnava.
Oh, we should remember the lifetime service of him. Again, yeah, Bonnie and Clyde robbed a bank, but let's think about all the times when they didn't rob a bank. That's what every defense lawyer wants you to say when they get up there and they got a guilty guy and they go, look, I know he raped this woman and he shot her daughter and he did all that, but you know what? He was a really good employee at IBM. He never missed a day at IBM. He was always very generous with overtime and all these things. He was a great guy, you know, but hey, he raped a woman and he shot her daughter. I mean, but think of all the times when he wasn't raping and shooting people. That's what they want you. That's what he wants. And I said that before too. And now this is exactly what they want to say. I mean,
Vaishnava. But at the same time, it's a grim warning to us all.
yeah,
Do not be complacent.
that it's fake and phony.
There, but for the grace of God go I.
It's a warning to everyone. We can all fall down if we're not careful. We're all doing this bullshit. And Maya is stronger than Hare Krishna. Giriraj Maharaj also fell down with a cyborg. Yeah, he did. And they tried to say he was crazy. They tried to say he's got dementia. But this guy wants to say, look, it can happen to any of us. Well, then why am I doing it? Why do I have to shave my head and put on the robe and put the shit on my head and the neck beads and chant all these things and give up all this stuff if I'm just going to fall down? Seriously, like why? Why am I doing it? Why am I believing in demon heads eating the moon? Why am I believing in four-headed guys and guys playing the flute? Why am I believing all this shit if I can just fall down? And then go off. What about this Vikasa Swami, Wayne Boyd? He comes clean. He says, hey, man, it's all bullshit. I'm an atheist now. I don't believe in God. This is all a bunch of bullshit. He actually came to the right conclusion. He actually came full circle. He said, hey, Hare Krishna is bullshit. It's all based on lies. It's all based on a mental conception, based on other lies, based on this, based on that, which basically is all religion. Cults are more extreme, but a four-armed guy laying on a snake or a guy hanging on a cross that came back to life 3 days later, who walked on water and rose the dead. I might as well believe in the demon head eating the moon. And I'm not saying that to make fun of anybody's thing. I'm just saying. If I have to believe in these stories, then I can pick whatever story I want to pick. I can pick the demon head eating the moon. I can pick, the guy in the cloud throwing the lightning bolts down. What difference does it make? If we're just picking stories now, we're just picking stories out of the air. But these gurus, back to the point of these gurus, this guy wants you to believe that they know who the pure devotee is. That they're going to tell you who the pure one is until he falls down. Then when he falls down, they're going to say, hey, that just shows you got to be careful. What other guru do you want? Who are you going to pick next? You going to pick this? You going to pick this guy? This guy that's telling you that it's your fault if you fall down, even though it's all scientific and the holy name is all powerful and it burns up sin and all of this crap. But it couldn't stop Giriraj. It couldn't stop Giriraj or Bhaktividyapurna Swami or Trivikram Swami or Bhavananda or Jayatirtha or Hansaduta or Rameshwar or Harikesh. Wasn't strong enough for them, even though they were like really spiritually advanced. What luck does the new guy have? If a fucking 83-year-old guy that's been doing it for 60 years, if he can't keep his vows, the bunch of, and then this goofball is going to sit there. You know who this goofball really is? He ain't no Bhakti Vikasa Swami. He's friggin' Hugh Turvey from England. He's probably born in London or Manchester or somewhere. The guy's like 3 years older than me. The guy's like my age. I could have went to high school with this guy. I would have been a junior. He would have been a friggin' senior. And he's gonna sit there like he's next to God, like he's some holy man. He ain't no holy man any holier than I am. The fuck? Who the fuck is he? Fucking idiot.
Of course, we have received the grace of God through the mercy of His divine.
He thinks he's received the grace of God. How fucking mental do you have to be?
Grace, Srila Prabhupada, who mercifully, repeatedly instructed us to be careful. Srila Prabhupada told the story of Emperor Akbar asking a minister, who he didn't name, it's well-known, Birbal.
This guy was born in London in 1957. I was born in 1961. He's like 4 years older than me. Although on his biography on his webpage, it says something different. It doesn't even say who he really is on his webpage. They cover it up. But what it does say here, which is interesting, is it says, this is what gets me, is it says, His Holiness Bhakti Vikasa Swami appeared in this world in 1957 in England. He appeared. He wasn't born. Like we were all born, right? We all take birth. I was born in Santa Monica, California in 1961. Everyone's born, but no. If you're a holy man, you appear. You just appear. You know, like Star Trek. And then you appear there as a little baby. He's not a normal person that just was born. He wasn't born in some hospital in England, in Manchester, England, or wherever he was born. No, he's a holy man. He's Bhakti Vikasa Swami. He appeared in this world. He appeared like a prophet or Star Trek or something. He's and then here he is with his stick. With his Swami stick. There he is. He just appeared with flowers and everything. The heavens opened up, the light came down, and he appeared there. Okay? He joined the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in 1975, and he was initiated in that year with the name Ilapati Das by Swami Prabhupada, who was 22 years old when he had sex with an 11-year-old girl. Swami Prabhupada, okay, so from 77 to 79, His Holiness was based in India, mostly traveling in West Bengal, preaching and distributing these disgusting books. He then spent 10 years helping to pioneer ISKCON's preaching in Bangladesh, Burma, Thailand, and Malaysia until 89. So it says here, in 1989, he was granted the order of sannyas, receiving the name Bhakti Vikasa Swami, and again made his base in India. Now, I have to ask the question, like, who granted him the order of sannyas in 1989? Who gave him that position? Who made him guru? Who changed his name from Ilapati Das to Bhakti Vikasa Swami? Because he didn't do that. He didn't do that himself. So who did that in 1989? Was it Kirtanananda, the guru in West Virginia? Was it Bhavananda, who molested little boys in Vrindavan? Who's his guru that gave him the name Bhakti Vikasa Swami in 1989? How did he become a guru? He doesn't say. So I guarantee you one thing. Let me just guarantee you one thing. If he was proud of who his guru was, his name would be right there. It would say in 1989 he was granted the order of sannyas and received the name Bhakti Vikasa Swami from Kirtanananda Swami or whoever it was that gave him that name. Which guru gave him, who made him guru? How did he become guru? What criminal in this organization gave him the name Bhakti Vikasa Swami? How did he become a guru? In 1989. Excuse me, just 3 years before I joined. And once again, I know, who the fuck is this guy? Because he's got a stick and he can recite some verses and he knows some stories. That's all it is with these people. It's just reciting these stories. And if you can recite them in another fucking language, hey, that's even better. And if you can recite them in Hindi or Sanskrit, that's the best. See, he lectures in English, Hindi, and Bengali. So because he can speak 3 languages, English, Hindi, and Bengali, and he knows these stories, he's a holy man. He's some holy man now. And he can lecture people and tell them what's right and wrong, it's good and bad, whether they should get married or not get married. What does he say? Let's see what other bullshit he has to say. See what kind of crap he says.
Previously, the idea is you live a civilized, restrained life, respectable life. There was no question of divorce. There was no question of extramarital affairs. Of course, such things were not totally unknown, but they were not the norm and they were frowned upon. Nowadays, it's just, all the time I hear divorce. They get married for happiness, but they find the situation is so intolerable, they think, oh, forget it.
You know, he talks about this like, it's insane. Prabhupada, in Indian culture, yeah, there is no divorce. Divorce is not a practice that they do. Although in modern times people do get divorced in India, but culturally they don't get divorced. But that doesn't mean that every marriage was loving and perfect and everything was hunky dory. Prabhupada himself says, "I hated my wife. We didn't like each other. He didn't like her. She didn't like him. That was a complete disaster." Okay. And so the fact that there's no divorce, or that divorce was not an issue back then, is not something to be proud of. You know, maybe if his wife had divorced and remarried, maybe she would have had a much happier life. Who's to say? You know, he's sitting there talking about, well, this is what they did 1,000 years ago. So, anyway, let's go. Let me get
it. Or I married you, but actually I like the guy in the office better. So kick you out and I'll take the guy in the office, take him away from his wife and take him over for myself for a few years. Then I'll go on to someone else. Is there truth in what I'm saying? So my best advice to young men is don't marry. Because young women are so badly trained in the present time, there'll just be so much trouble. It'll just completely mess up your life totally. Marriage is troublesome by its nature. But at the present time, the women are trained to be nasty to men. Especially the more educated they are, the worse they are, in general. Not that all are like that, but it's increasingly becoming like that. In the villages, more likely to get a less contaminated mentality. Of course, it's not that the men are all perfect either, but even if you get a good wife, it may be 10 years down the line, she gets infected by some bad preaching and she changes completely. Because these feminist type women, they're very envious of happily married women. And they'll go and tell them, oh, you see.
It's interesting. It's interesting that this disgusting freak is talking about how women will leave, may want to leave their husbands, and he puts them down for that. They're feminists or whatever. And yet, this cult has no problem with just letting men use women like trash. They use if you can't stay celibate, then you just grab a woman, get married, use her for your sexual desires. And then when you're done using her for your sexual desire and you got all that out of you, then you can just discard her and go play Hare Krishna and put on an orange outfit like him and get your stick and go preach and just leave her off because she's not important in your spiritual life. She wasn't important in your spiritual life when you were a celibate brahmachari. Like, you didn't need a woman. You were told to stay away from them. You don't need one. And then you only need one if you can't control yourself. If you can't control yourself, you use her like you would use Playboy magazine or something, or Pornhub. And then when you're done, you just let her go. Go be Hare Krishna until you become like Trivikram and you want to bang your disciple, and then you go bang bang your disciple, I guess. That's what this guy's saying.
Husband is not treating you properly. You shouldn't just do whatever he wants, and on and on and on. And then their mind changes. So even if you do get a...
So he's saying that a woman should do what a husband wants. She changed her mind. She didn't want to do what her husband wants anymore. How dare her want to have her independent, her own life, right? I mean...
Good wife, she's always subject to this nasty propaganda that's floating around. But even if you do get a good wife and she's not contaminated by this nasty feministic propaganda,
nasty feministic propaganda. You hear that? Women just having control of their lives, doing what they want, whether it's being married or not being married, or just having independence in their marriage, having a healthy marriage where they're not just the servant of the husband. Nasty feminist propaganda that just infects women everywhere, because women are supposed to be subservient and just do whatever the husband says all the time, no matter what it is. And it's the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault that Trivikram couldn't, the prominent features, the whole thing. It's the women. Just stay away from them.
And there's no guarantee what your children are going to be like, if you can have children, because usually they use contraceptives up till the age of 30 plus because they don't want to have children. Then they can't have children. But if you have children, they'll go to school, and in the school they'll tell them that you shouldn't allow your parents to discipline you. Even the government may promote all kinds of extremely nasty things.
Listen to this guy. Is this somebody that you should be listening to and taking advice from, life advice? Do you hear what he's saying? Does any of this make sense to anybody who's not in this cult?
This is all coming here to India. India's a backward country, so you haven't caught up yet. So my best advice to young men is don't marry. Too much risk. It's too much risk of too much suffering. So the problem is what to do about sex. From the early age, you've been watching porn on your smartphone. So what are you going to do about sex? Masturbation, prostitution. You're not supposed to talk about these things in South India, are we? Someone must know the word. You're not all that pure. You don't want to say. He couldn't even hear it. Okay, I think you all understand. Yeah, as I was saying, we're not supposed to discuss these things in South India, because in South India, you're all very civilized. But these are not issues here. Is there anyone here who doesn't know anyone who's divorced? No. If we look at the old women, or men for that matter, when you were a child, did you know anyone who was divorced? So these are issues. No one wants to talk about it. But in the meantime, our devotees get married and it's just hell. What is the solution?
Right, because your Hare Krishna cult doesn't work. He said all these people in the audience are like, no, we never divorced, but you're not in the cult. You're just lived a regular life. You weren't trying to be something that you're not. You're not cosplaying. You spend years cosplaying, then yeah, you're going to have issues. It's not the same. This guy is insane. I can't believe that anybody would listen to this guy and take advice from him. These people are insane.
Srila Prabhupada wanted to make Varnashram society. Go to farms, make your own communities, cut out from this evil society.
Yes, Prabhupada wanted everybody to go live on a farm and be a farmer and work from sun up to sundown, milking cows and working the fields and growing food and growing and just doing all this labor because he thought that the world was going to end and there was going to be a nuclear holocaust and that the only people that were going to survive were going to be the Hare Krishnas because they lived on this farm. They lived on these farms. That was his idea of Varnashram. This is insanity. And this is what this guy is promoting. He continues to promote this crap.
Generation after generation of Varna Sankara. First generation of Varna Sankara, they say, don't follow all these rules that all the people follow. Few generations down the line, they'll say these rules are bad. And they'll bring in the opposite. New rules. First of all, they had contraception is good. Then abortion is good. Then homosexuality is good. Transgender is good. I don't know what they're going to make up next. I can't imagine.
This guy, so all of these things that we are just accepting in society, in modern society, that just the idea that a woman can have her own destiny, that she can live the way she wants, whether it's to be married or not be married, or whether to divorce or to whatever it is, to go to school. Like I said, they don't want women to go to school. They don't want women to go to work. The one guy was saying, hey, you don't need to work, only if you financially have to, whatever. These people are insane. And this is what they are preaching. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is extremist, wacky stuff. And it's not even wacky. This is dangerous stuff because this is what they want to force on people.
Don't try to imagine, but it's coming. Whatever it is, things are not going to get better. So advice to young men. Of course, you should marry, but then don't marry. If you have so much dedication to Krishna and you can control your senses, then be a brahmachari. Very good. So very good. If you can do, very good.
These people are schizophrenic. He's like, marry, don't marry. Get married if you can do it, but don't get married if you can't do it. They have no idea what they. These people should not be. This guy should not be telling anybody what to do. He shouldn't be advising anyone on their life choices, where they should live, what they should do, whether they should get married or not get married, whether they should have children, have children, whether they should. The guy's a mental case. And he's going to sit there and lecture people like he's a holy man. I mean, come on. I mean, what are you living in a fucking 1,000 years ago? This guy? He thinks he's some kind of Hugh. His name is Hugh Turvey. He's not even friggin' Bhakti Vikasa Swami. He's Hugh Turvey Swami. He's Hugh Turvey from England, from Manchester, England, or wherever the fuck he's from. You know, Indian holy man doing all the Indian stuff and talking like he's got some kind of trance, like he's in some trance. You think he really talks like that? You think he really talks like this?
If you can find good Krishna conscious girl who wants to live as a devotee and not as a demon, good. But too often we find it may be the boy.
Okay, so you think he really talks like that? Well, he really thinks like that a woman who's not a devotee is a demon. He just said it. If she's a devotee and not a demon, if she's a devotee and not a demon, because if you're not a devotee, you're a demon. That's it. Us and them, devotees, demons, like churning the ocean of milk. You know, the demons on one side, devotees on the other side. So what side are you on? Are you a devotee or are you a demon? That's his compassion. Homosexuals are demons. Feminists are demons. Transgenders are demons. If homosexuals are demons, what's Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? I mean, what? Goddamn. This guy seems friggin' gay as a friggin' $3 bill, if you ask me.
Or the girls, or both, they want to do the mala and everything and be a demon at the same time. We'll do Krishna Bhakti and then, all right, you don't ask about anything else.
Oh yeah. Well, what about Trivikram Swami? He wants to make fun of the women. Women want to do mala and be a demon at the same time. Well, what did Trivikram want to do? What was Trivikram doing? What was your buddy Trivikram doing? What was Kirtanananda doing? What was Bhavananda doing? What was Rameshwar doing? What was Jayatirtha doing? What was Bhaktivedanta Swami doing? What are all these guys doing? It has taken me decades to completely deprogram completely from this ideology. I agree with you. I agree. It's heavy duty. It's heavy duty. And it gets in there like a virus and it just corrupts. It corrupts everything. Corrupts your hard drive. These guys are disgusting. Yeah, the guy's no Swami. The guy's no Swami. He's a fucking scammer. And he's hurting people. And he promotes people. And he promotes people like Trivikram Swami. All these other gurus that he promotes, his buddies. They're going to fall down too one day. And he's just part of the scam. He is just part of the scam. And they'll do the same thing to him. And he'll do the same thing that Trivikram did if he ever screws up with a woman with prominent features. Believe me. It ain't no secret, and it ain't no guessing game. This is all a bunch of bullshit. It's cosplay and it's bullshit. And Trivikram falls down just like all the rest of them fell. All the other ones fell down. And it might take 60 years. It might take 20 years. It might take 10 years. It might take a 1 year. I mean, look at my friend Radha Kund. The guy was a Hare Krishna since like 1974, 75. So he was a Hare Krishna for like 20 something years, right? As long as I was. He was a Hare Krishna 20, 30. He was a Hare Krishna for almost 40 years when he passed away. But when I met him, He was a Hare Krishna for like 20 years. And he was still, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, he was a Hare Krishna. And Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays, he wasn't. Just like Trivikram Swami. You fake it till you make it, and then when you can't make it, you fake it, and fake it when you're not making it, and it's just all a bunch of bullshit. Now I'm looking at Radha Kun, and I'm going, wow, you seem like you're so advanced, like you've got it down, like you know it, you got it. It's you like, why are you still Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? If it's real and it's scientific and it's pure and it's this and it's that and it's so strong and whole, then why is it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with you? Why isn't it? Why all of these people? Why is it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday? Why is Trivikram falling down? Why is Harikesh falling down? Why is Rameshwar falling down? Why is Kirtananda falling down? Why are guys getting shot in a van on Canfield Avenue? If this whole thing is real and real and pure sampradaya and parampara, all this bullshit. If it was, even if a fraction of it was real, you wouldn't have all this crap. Guys like this sitting there spewing out shit about women that sounds like it's coming from the 1830s. Friggin' piece of shit. He is gonna teach young men what they should do, whether they should get involved with women or not, whether they should try to have a loving relationship with a woman, maybe have a family. Who the fuck is he? Hugh Turvey from Manchester, England, born in 1957, and now he's some holy man that's going to tell people whether they should get married or not, and explain about feminism and world event. What the fuck does he know about world events and the human psyche and what a man needs and what a woman needs and loving exchanges between men and women and raising children and a loving and what the fuck does he know about that? He didn't know anything about that except what the fuck he's read from Srila Prabhupada's piece of shit books. That's what he knows. All he knows is what he's read from that piece of shit Srila Prabhupada and his piece of shit books. That's all he knows. And he's going to sit up there like he knows something? Like he's had some realization about life? Some epiphany? Some anything? He is a piece of shit scammer, carnival barker, top of the list piece of shit carnival barker. He's got the head wag and the hand movements and the whole trance talking like he's a friggin'. And then we went, and they all have that same friggin', because they all learned it. That's how you grab attention. That's how you fake charisma. That's how you fake holiness. Is this way you speak like a preacher. Like, different preachers have different ways of speaking, but you can always tell a preacher, you can always tell a priest or a preacher in the way that they deliver their message, emphasizing certain words, the way they pause, all of that. And Hare Krishna is no difference. And this guy, he's got it down where he's got it down.
We see Sutapa and Vrishni, they went through severe austerities. That is not possible in the present age. But at least we should follow some basic rules. We see some devotees are initiated, but they don't want to follow as they're supposed to follow.
Oh, like Trivikram Swami? Like your buddy's Trivikram Swami who didn't want to follow anymore. He's like, no, I got a disciple with prominent features, and I'm going to ride that baby. I'm riding that baby out of town. So this guy, he's no different than any other one. Sitting there talking bullshit, cosplaying like he's a holy man, speaking a bunch of shit. He shows up at all of the fucking programs. He shows up at all the temples, preaches all the bullshit. He's one of the big leaders. He's full of shit. I can't emphasize that enough. He hates women, obviously. Obviously, he hates women. Doesn't give a shit about anybody. Doesn't give a shit about children. What do these guys do? Except sit on their fucking little chair and read their friggin' mythology stories. What do they fucking do? They read their mythology stories, their little storybook, their little fairy tales. They read these fairy tales, make up some fucking bullshit about it, and then they move on to the next friggin' story. And they just repeat, rinse, and repeat. The fuck does he do? What does he do for anybody? It's a bunch of bullshit. It's like a carnival barker. Step right up. Knock the pins over, you can win that friggin' guitar. You'll never fucking win the pins, knock the pins over. You're never gonna win the guitar. You think they're gonna give away a fucking $5,000 guitar? Because you knocked over some fucking pins? You've popped a balloon with a dart and you're going to win some valuable thing? How stupid you got to be? They have people walking around in the carnivals carrying those big prizes so that you think that they won that prize. Oh, look, that guy won that prize. More than that, your girlfriend says, hey, will you win me that bear? Look, he won that bear for his girlfriend. And then your girlfriend goes, hey, will you win me that bear? And you go, oh, yeah, he won it. I can do it. Fuck, yeah, if that guy did it, I can do it. And then you spend fucking $25 trying to win a friggin' $5 bear, and you never win it. And it just goes on. And then they pack up and they go to the next town. And then they pack up and they go to the next town. The same thing with these guys. They got these guys walking around. Look at me. I got a bear. I got a fucking stick. And you can have a stick too. No, just if I stay in, I'll have me a stick one day. Fuck. Fucking bullshit. Fucking bullshit. Hugh Turvey Swami. That's his name. His name is Hugh Turvey Swami. He's Bhakti Vikasa Swami. I'm Sri Mukunda Swami. God damn it. He was initiated 89. I was initiated 2000. So who cares? Who's his guru? Kirtanananda? I'll bet you it was Kirtanananda. It was one of these gurus that's fucking bounced out. That's what it is. Otherwise, his name would be right there. He'd be proud of it. He's not proud of his guru? What the fuck? What a scam. These guys are nothing but a scam. I want to thank everybody for watching. Class is over today. Let me ring the bell. Okay, class is over. I hopefully some of you out there watching this learn something. That these guys are all scammers, and they don't have to fall down to be a scammer. And you know what? Following four regular principles is not no big deal. There's a lot of people that follow even Prabhupada says. Prabhupada says a guy in a hospital is following four regular principles. A lot of people follow four regular principles. A lot of people are vegetarian. They don't gamble. They don't have illicit sex. That ain't no big deal. A lot of people follow. They don't know they're following four regs. They just don't smoke or drink or get intoxicated. They don't have illicit sex. They don't gamble and vegetarian. People like that all over the world. Who cares? I mean, you don't have to. Doing that doesn't make you special. Getting up at 4:30 in the morning doesn't make you special either. A lot of people my dad used to get up at 4:30 in the morning to go play golf. He was going to go play golf. Getting up at 4:30 is no big deal. Following four regular principles is no big deal. These people think that this guy thinks he's something special. Fuck him. He ain't nothing. He ain't nothing but a big piece of shit. Nothing but a big piece of shit. That's what he is. So I want to thank everybody for watching today. Everybody have a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening. Just have a great day. Have some great luck. And please stay out of a cult, okay? And we got some a nice closing credits where you can see me as a Hare Krishna as a Hare Krishna in India. I'm not proud of it, but I confess, I own up to it, okay? I was once a Hare Krishna. So thanks, everybody. Please like, share, and subscribe.